Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video. Today I'm doing a video on is Tom Baker, of all people, in Series 13 of Doctor Who. Now, I'll be honest, I am predominantly only doing this video because I am interested in some rumours with regards to Series 13 because there's so little being talked about it in terms of like positivity slash actual like rumours, if that makes sense. It's more just like people being like, oh, Jodie's leaving, oh, this person's going to be the new Doctor, I hate Chris Chibnall for top 10 reasons I hate Chris Chibnall, top 10 reasons why Chris Chibnall should shove a bunch of knives up his arsehole and die a slow, painful death just because he wrote an episode of Doctor Who I don't like. Where? And all this crap, right? So, for me, I just wanted to post a video about something kind of, like, different from that kind of stuff, personally. But I'll be honest, it feels weird. Well, I wouldn't say I'm reporting on this story, but just sort of talking about this because I don't even know if this is like, it's a rumour, so it's like, it's hearsay, as it were. And I'm only really reporting it for the previous reason that I pointed out, but also Tom Baker, spoiler alert if you didn't know, is my favourite Doctor, so obviously I'm interested. I was immediately like, need to click on this YouTube video, even though it's from a YouTuber who I'm not a massive fan of. It's 50-50 on the person. I try and always watch a variety of people when it comes to Doctor Who, so I'm not just getting one skewed view slash opinion, but he is predominantly like one of the... I don't think he's one of the hashtag not my Doctor lot, he just doesn't really like the newest current era of the show. The Rabbi from Another Planet, is he called? I don't know. But anyway, he had a thing about Tom Baker potentially being in the next series, being Series 13, and it's only 8 episodes we know this year, and it starts, or it's going to release I think near the latter end, near like sort of mid to late October, and yeah, it's a weird one because like, I adore Tom Baker's Doctor, but I don't get it. I don't get how this is gonna happen because, like, the Rabbi from Another Planet, YouTuber person, I just call him that. I don't even think that's his YouTuber name or his obviously real name. But I think that, as he pointed out, it's weird because obviously Tom Baker is sort of old now in real life, and that, so he's not as mobile, so like I don't really get how like practically they're gonna do it, you know, unless they do, like he pointed out, like interface, AI interface thing in the TARDIS. That would be cool. Like he could kind of do like a Big Finish recording almost, but then have like the people at the mill or the CG milk or mill whatever it's called, the CG company who do the visual effects now, who are phenomenal at doing phenomenal people. You know, the visuals for this current era have never looked better, in my humble opinion. I really like them, if you couldn't already tell. And I think it'd be really cool, yeah, like to have like a Tom Baker slash older version of the Doctor hologram slash sort of interface for the TARDIS for a couple episodes. Just for fan service, fuck it, you know. Because like this era of the Doctor Who has kind of shun away from sort of fan service, I guess, compared to the Moffat era. It's weird. It's like one was 100% fan service, like fan service all the way, and then this era is a lot more like less, not at all, a little bit. A fan service, you know. That was series like 11, and then series 12 went totally the opposite way, you know, opposite spectrum, dumping lots of references to the Russell T Davies era, as well as like classic Who, specifically in Timeless Children sort of thing. But yeah, so we've kind of established that Chibnall isn't, you know, just a fan of the Russell T Davies era. He is like a proper hardcore Doctor Who fan, like yours truly, like the rest of us, and that, yeah, I think having him as a hologram would be cool because I don't know, it just would be. I really like that bit in Parting of the Ways, Bad Wolf Parting of the Ways, with Eccleston as being like a hologram sort of thing, and I think, does Tennant ever appear as a hologram? I can't remember, but I've always liked holograms. I don't know why. I'm weird like that. Obviously, other than that, I guess the only way you could have him in the show is maybe have him as the curator, and he would have last appeared as the curator like 7-8 years ago in the 50th anniversary episode. You know, so technically it would be Tom Baker, but it wouldn't be his Doctor, it wouldn't be his incarnation, it'd be a different one / future version, you know, because that's what it was implied. It was implied that, you know, oh, you go back to some of the favourites, but oh, you sometimes go back to some of the older faces, but only the favourites, yes. Sort of thing. That was a terrible Tom Baker. Yeah, that was the better one. Impression. But yeah, yeah, it could be cool, because I was thinking like maybe it could be like something to lead into maybe her exit potentially. You know, you get the oldest living actor to put who plays the part to sort of help with the change, you know, kind of like how they did that with Capaldi, Jodie's predecessor. You know, they literally got the first Doctor to help him with his regeneration, and what's the next best / logical step? Get the actual most popular, or not most popular, but most sort of recognisable Doctor from all angles that you can see it, metrics in terms of viewing figures / notoriety / you know, just general, you know, you ask anyone in the sort of 40s, 50s, 60s, Doctor Who do you picture, or what do you picture when I say that? More than likely they will say, at some point, a clothing item of Tom Baker's costume / the Jelly Babies and or Daleks, Cybermen and Black and White, or maybe, you know, hiding behind the sofa, or the Zygons, or this or that. But again, Tom Baker probably at some point. You know, or like a sort of thing that he did, or like you know, the curly hair, the teeth, the grin, the sort of somber nature maybe, or the sort of scarf sort of thing. But yeah, yeah. So as I say, that would make sense, and also like I guess if he's the curator, you get around the whole age thing as well. Like the Doctor shouldn't age, seeing as they're alien, I guess. Even though I guess Hartnell technically died / regenerated because of his age, which is a bit weird. But then also, like, I guess some of the other Doctors don't look the way they used to look being the Doctor, if that makes sense. Like with the likes of Colin and McCoy and stuff as much. Although I guess in that sense, I'm surprised they didn't get McGann. If this rumour is true, like, why wouldn't you have got McGann? I guess, although I guess maybe he's not as well known to the general public and non-crazy hardcore Doctor Who fans like myself. The only reason why I don't think this is true as well is because, you know, it's a massive chunk of fan service, and this era doesn't seem to be about that. Plus, it's the curator, and he's just literally been in a Big Finish box set like a handful of months ago, back in like March this year, I think. So like anything the BBC Doctor Who team proper had in mind could have easily been taken, unintentionally of course, by the side folk at Big Finish, although from what I understand they aren't allowed to do anything without the consent of the Beeb / BBC. So, you know, like for example, the Sands of Life. The Sands of Life was supposed to be actually called the Water of Life, but they couldn't use that element because they were using it that week, you know, like, as crazy as that sounds, and it was because the BBC proper were doing TV Doctor Who proper were doing Waters of Mars, so, you know, they didn't really feel comfortable having Nick Briggs write a story called Water of Life, you know, even though I think Sands of Life is oddly a better title myself. But yeah, I don't know, I think as well, maybe if like Jodie is to regenerate, as I said before earlier in the video, like this year, even though apparently that also isn't true. But if it was, then, or like if it turns out to be not true that she is staying on after this series, like as I said, like having a previous Doctor, if not a future version of a Doctor, of like a favourite face from yesteryear, but he's actually a future Doctor, comfort this incumbent female Doctor would be nice, I guess, or maybe just have him be in the story as a side character would be kind of cool, like, you know, like this version of the Doctor's just sort of chilling about, doing his own thing, curating stuff, being at a library, being an old retired like Doctor doing his own thing, and Jodie pops up, and so does Dan, so does Yaz, and they all have a bit of an adventure, maybe even a two-parter sort of story, maybe, I don't know, midway through. It would be cool either as a finale or as a mid-series sort of thing, sort of like bump up the ratings potentially from the mid-series dip / sag in terms of ratings. Because all series, I'm pretty sure, in TV usually dip around the midpoint. Because that's usually when people start petering off, you know, people give the sort of first 2-3 episodes a chance, but, you know, episode 4, 5, 6-ish, depending on how many episodes of the series you're doing, are usually where people sort of start falling off / dipping out, you know. But as I say, if you've got an actor who is still 40 years plus, you know, recognised for the role midway, I think that would really make people go, but or like steady ratings normally would be like a dip, but instead it's actually an increase, you know, I think anyway. But then again, I am biased because I'm a massive Tom Baker fan and a fanboy, so, you know, there is that. But yeah, also again his age, like, and that's why I err more towards it being the hologram thing, if it is even true. I think the likelihood of this being true is like 10% truth to it. The other 90% of me is just like, yeah, this isn't true. You know, I think they've made it pretty clear that they are moving forward to try and make new things, even if that means going back and kind of retconning things and kind of pissing people off, but it's still new, even if it's old, if that makes sense. Makes sense if you watch a lot of Doctor Who. This show really has messed my brain up. I need to stop watching it. That was a joke. Obviously, I'm never going to stop watching this show. Unfortunately. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please do comment, rate, and subscribe.